All right, in today's Theme Code Showcase video, we're going to walk through another theme by City212 called Canvas. Now this theme is very beautiful. It's also available across Batocera and other distributions like Newly, but this is the ESD version. And we're going to walk through all its options. And by default, let's see, it supports a lot of different aspect ratios. So we're looking at 16:9 here on screen. It also supports 16:10, good for Steam Deck. Supports 3:2, which looks like this. Very clean. Whoops. It also supports 1:1. 4:3. And 8:7. And this is showing a variant that we'll get into later. And also supports 19:5:9 and 21:9. So a lot of support for different aspect ratios. Just a really, really well-built theme overall. Another great one from City212. So let's take a look at some of the options. So let's get to default settings first. So grid art, okay, let's get over here first. And we'll show you what this thing looks like out of the box. Now there's a lot of different options in this theme as well. What's great about what City does is this offers a lot of different flexibility, so you could find what really you prefer from a design perspective. So out of the box, where it starts with the default is a grid text list. And essentially, again, what this refers to for City themes is the word in brackets refers to how the system view displays, and the word outside of brackets refers to how the game list view displays. So in this case, we're looking at a grid text list, which is a grid of systems like this. And then when you get into a given game system, let's say we'll do TurboGrafx 16, then this is a text list for the game list itself. And on the text list, it shows the metadata of the game, video, things like that. So let's go to UI settings and then look at other options. So text list flipped, we'll take the text list from the right here and move it to the left side. Grid carousel marquee, let's take a look at that. What that's going to do is the system view will be a grid like we just looked at, and then the game list view is going to use this really nice carousel view for navigating by essentially marquee images or logos for each game. And then it shows the artwork and metadata for the game over on the right. And then grid carousel box art. This will show a carousel of box art along with that grid view on the system view. So let's take a look at that. Whoops, I didn't select it, sorry about that. Let's go back here and then select that. And now when this loads up, you're gonna see basically a carousel of box art for the game list, and then the system view will remain that grid. But take a look at this carousel. This is just epic. You have the game artwork back behind the scenes here, the logo of the game up there, and then as you stop on a game, it starts playing the video for that game right there as well. So also shows like the theme engine for ESD is super flexible. You could do a lot of cool stuff. So something I will need to do in the future is basically create a set of tutorial videos for that. So let's keep going on here. Grid basic essentially is going to just be a basic grid on the system view, and it's probably a grid of box covers if I remember correctly. Let's take a look when that loads. And it should be just a simple grid on the system view like we said here. And then the game list view, again, just has this really elegant, simple grid here. And let's see, grid detailed is going to show a grid of games and then the metadata for that particular game as well. And then flipped will essentially flip the placement of those things on each screen. So let's take a look at grid row as well. This one's kind of unique. And when this loads up, essentially again, you're still going to have that system view, which is a grid. And then the game list view is going to have this simple row of games here. And then you can navigate up and down using the up and down keys, but also left and right. So it gives you some flexibility there for how you navigate the actual system as well. All right, now that we've looked at the game list views, let's take a look at the different system views. Right now we've been looking at grid for the system view, which again, to remind you, is essentially this style here. Now if I go into UI settings and then change this over to carousel, what this is going to do is change the system view to more of a carousel view. And this is again really nice looking as well. Essentially really easy to navigate your systems. And this looks really, really nice on, let's say, like a 1x1 screen. So if I go here, this is already set up to use that carousel view for the system view. And just really, really elegant at the end of the day. Okay, so let's look at the next system view style. So if we go into UI settings here, go into theme variants. Oh, okay, cool. So yes, it only has those two styles. Only, sorry. City, you've done great work here. There's so many different options that are really wonderful. So this theme essentially has two different styles for the system view, grid and carousel. And then for the gameless view, it has a lot of really awesome options here that we just looked at as well. So in addition to those theme variants, City 2 and 2 also does great work with adding different color scheme supports as well. So in color scheme, the structure is the word in brackets refers to the artwork that's used for the system view. And then the second word is what refers to the actual coloring that's used around the theme. So in this case, capsule dark is referring to that we're using these kind of capsule-like images here for the system artwork. Now if I go into UI settings and then go into here and change this to say like controller and then use retro. What this is going to do is change the system artwork to controllers. And let me refocus that a bit there. There we go. Controllers. And you can see we have this nice like retro color scheme here now behind the scenes as well. All right. And I believe he also has the options for logo here. So yes, let's take a look at logos. So let's look at logo and then neon. And what this will do is change the system view to use logos. And these were created by Zoidberg, I believe. And these are really wonderful, clean, simple logos for each system. There's a whole set available on our GitHub, or sorry, on Zoidberg's GitHub that we link to so you could use as resources when you create your themes. Let's see what else we got here. And then screenshot, let's take a look at screenshot and we'll do art after that. So I'm gonna go to screenshot and then let's look at Super Nintendo, which is my favorite system. And essentially this should show a screenshot for each system, as you can see here, along with this logo. And yeah, very, very nice. And you can see the artwork behind, the coloring behind the scenes and coloring on the gameless view has changed to more of a purple North American Super Nintendo color scheme. All right, let's go to carousel here. Oh, sorry, not variants. Let's go to color. And I think the last one is art. So let's look at, let's see. Let's look at art in a Sony style. You could see here, these are these really great illustrations that exist across many of City's themes. And yeah, just really nice looking. And then the background is that kind of PlayStation blue style that also evokes into the gameless view here. So hopefully that gives you a sense of how you can change within a single theme. If the theme author has done a lot of really awesome work to create all these options, it could really change the look and tailor the look of your theme based off the options that are presented. All right. City 2 and 2 has also added a bunch of theme font sizes. These work very similarly to the ones we were looking at in Aura. So let's look at large. And essentially what this does is it changes the size of the fonts throughout the theme. So you could see here the gameless font is a little bit larger. So if you're looking on like say a smaller screen device, like this is about 5 inches. Or 5.5 inches, I think. It makes the text kind of much more readable. So amazing work here. Thank you again, City 2 and 2. Yeah, hope you liked it. And if you have any questions, just let us know. Take care.